Welcome to this week's episode of TUF Coffee Shop Talk. I'm your host, Rhonda Lavoie, and I want to start by celebrating. You see, this is episode 50. So great. Thank you for being here. So each week, I meet with members from TUF Collaborative to chat about varying topics, and each week you can join me here as I review the topic of the week. We have a wide range of topics discussing anything from business building tips to personal development ideas. And the best part is I feel the topics can touch anybody, no matter what their adventure is in life. If you're self-employed, entrepreneur, work at a corporation, stay-at-home parent, retired, or even in between jobs, I think there's just a little bit for everyone. So I'd like to dive right in. Let's get to this week's conversation of the week. This time, we tackled something incredibly practical and essential in today's world: creating your optimal home office. So many of us, especially entrepreneurs, rely heavily on our home workspace. It's more than just a desk and a chair. It's our command center, our focus zone, and often the face we present to the world virtually. Getting this space right is crucial, not just for productivity, but for our well-being and even our professional image. This week, we explored the key elements from ergonomics and tech to wellness and sustainability. And while we focused on the entrepreneur's perspective, the principles apply to anyone looking to improve their work from home environment. Ready to build a better workplace? Let's get into it. I know way too many people who work from their kitchen table or their couch. And that is not a proper work environment. I don't understand. I guess I do. I do understand why you do it. But I need you to know that you're holding yourself back on taking yourself to the next level. Because ultimately, you're treating your business like an afterthought. If you're not setting up an environment where you can be productive and keep yourself healthy, you're not setting yourself up for success. That's the harsh truth. Sorry, but it is. So I highly, highly, highly encourage you to create some sort of environment in your home office that is not your kitchen table or your couch. Please. So when you're ready to do that, here's some of the things that you need to think about. Well, of course, the big part is make sure that you have a comfortable chair. A chair that is adjustable, will suit your body type, hold up your posture. If you're able to, a sit-stand option is wonderful, where you can get a desk that is adjustable height so you can stand sometimes and sit other. That would be incredible. I do not have that, but it is something that comes across my radar frequently that I think would be very cool to add. Another key piece that I simply could not live without is also a dual monitor setup. I actually have a triple monitor setup. I have one monitor that is tall and skinny. So it's basically a monitor that's turned on its side. So it's tall and skinny. And it is super helpful in real estate because I can actually display a full listing from our system on there without having to scroll up and down. And then I have another monitor that is the main one in front of me that is just the regular positioning. And then I also have my laptop monitor open, which gives me the ability to have things kind of working in the background. That's the monitor I'll put like Spotify on or, something like that I don't actually have to look at very often. When you have monitors set up like that, position them at eye level and arm's length. So make sure that they are at about an arm's length away from you. That is the optimal view from an ergonomics perspective. If possible, have your office with some natural light. When I first moved home from the city, from my city office, I had an office in the basement. And let me tell you, it was less than optimal. Simply because, one, it was freaking cold down there. And two, there's no natural light. It's just so dark. So one of the things I did when COVID came along and we were going to be home an awful lot is we built myself an office that has lots of natural light. So I am very fortunate. I live on an acreage. I have the ability to have an external building that is my office, and I have the ability to make that building happen. We literally built it with our own hands. I had my parents help me with a little bit, and I contracted just a tiny little bit with the roof because the pitch of the roof was way too steep for me to want to be on. But ultimately, I built it with my own hands during COVID, which was a real blessing because it's one of my favorite places in the world right now. But if you can't do that, because I understand that not everybody can, try and pick a room in your house that has a decent window that you can get some natural light. It will make your wanting to be there so much easier, and it allow you to be so much more productive. And when you're in that space, when you're creating that space, set it up. Like actually, tie all the cables together and make them neat and tidy. Make sure that the monitors on your desk are just so. Put your trinkets exactly where they need to be. Hang a couple of things on the wall. Make it an environment that you want to be in so that you be in it. So that you no longer want to work from the kitchen table or from the couch. So that's the foundational pieces, the basics, if you will. Next, let's dive into kind of the tech and the productivity stuff. For most, if you're working from home, some sort of reliable high-speed internet is going to be a necessity. And that's actually a huge challenge for me because I live on an acreage. I only had what's called wireless internet for a long time. So it's not wired into my house from the provider. So that was a bit of a challenge in having reliable internet. Now I have fiber optic internet, which is really nice, but it is wireless from the house to my office building. So it's not exactly reliable. It's a challenge that I'm trying to work through because obviously, it's not that great if I want to be having any type of Zoom calls or if I'm uploading videos and uploading listing pictures and all of those things. Having that reliability is important, and I'm working through it. But note that is something that you're going to have to pay attention to. Another piece about tech is maybe it's a good time to go paperless because you aren't going to be wanting to store papers in your home office. Having them stored digitally might make more sense. Come up with a solution to do that. I use the Google Sweep, so I use the Google Drive option for my storage, and there's previous podcasts on how I use that, but that is a good time to go paperless. If you're working from a home office and there are other distractions in the house, I know some of my friends, they're working couples and they both work from a home office. So some sort of noise canceling headphones is crucial. I even use headphones in my office sometimes if I need to concentrate and just kind of drown out that outside world. I'll put in some noise canceling headphones and play some sort of music or whatever to just kind of help me get into the zone. It's a great way to help me focus and could be something that you could use too. And maybe you need some sort of brainstorming tools or like a whiteboard or some sort of digital board. See if there's a wall in your office that'll allow you to have that there. I actually have a whiteboard in my office. It's a bit tricky because I'm blessed with lots of windows in my office, so I don't have that much wall space to put a whiteboard, but I do have one because I find it a nice tool to kind of think out loud, and I'll do a lot of brainstorming while I write on my whiteboard. So that could be something that you could integrate into your office as well. And then still in that tech place, make sure that you have, proper surge protected bars and potentially USB type bars so that you aren't, running cords across your office or, letting your cell phone run dead because you don't have a way to plug it in. And of course, that will also help you save power because there are smart bars out there that will help protect your equipment plus manage your energy use. On to health and wellness in your environment. Work on having good air quality control. Make sure there's good ventilation in your room. That may be an air purifier. Maybe you have some plants. That's something I absolutely have in my office. I have so many plants in my office. Again, I'm blessed with all that natural light, so I have all sorts of plants. Let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plants in my office. So yeah, I have lots of plants. So air quality should be pretty good. So yes, good ventilation, nice air quality will boost your mood and just make your environment so much better. You can also consider things like acoustic comfort. Consider echo that you might have in there, depending on if you're going to have video calls. So this could mean having rugs in the room or wall hangings to help reduce echo, which will be helpful if you're doing any type of lots of phone calls or video calls. Be sure to have availability for hydration and fuel. So maybe you have your own refreshment stand or the ability to quickly get, water in between your conference calls or whatever that might look like for you. And be aware of the amount of time that you're spending at your desk. A sit-stand desk will help, and maybe you can adjust from sitting to standing frequently. Some people have the under-the-desk treadmill bike that will help, keep you moving. But just note that when you work from a home office, it's actually quite easy to sit for too long of a period. So come up with ways to create breaks for yourself. Like maybe you have a Fitbit or a smartwatch that'll remind you to be active so that you can at least just get up and move around your office. Or try and look away from your monitor from time to time. That's why a window is really nice. I get to look outside quite often because there's things to look at, but maybe you have something across the room so that you can change your eye focus from your monitors to something else. Maybe you have a painting or a picture that you like to look at so that you aren't staring for long periods of time at that close space, because it's actually quite hard on your eyes. So having a painting or something a little bit further away. Change your focus. I think it's every 20 minutes you're supposed to change your focus so that you are focused a little bit further away for your eye health. Something like that. All right, let's move on to organization in your environment. If you do a lot of video calls, you want to make sure that your environment is tidy and that whatever's behind you is something that you want people to see. And something that's also not too distracting too, right? You don't want to have a whole bunch of things behind you that take away from seeing you. So just be aware of what is behind you if you're going to be doing a lot of video calls. Try and ensure that you also have the ability to keep your desk and your environment tidy and, reduce the clutter and organized so that you want to be there again. If you have an office where you stack everything up in the corner because it's the dumping ground, good chance you're not going to want to be there and you're going to end up back at the kitchen table again. So just make sure that you have, a filing system set up and in place and that you actually use it, and that your office isn't the place that everything goes by default because it's out of the way. Make it your environment, make it your actual office. And lastly, I just want to talk about, making it personalized, putting some inspirational things in there. And again, this goes back to the wanting to be there, but hang pictures of your family on the wall, or, if your child has made you a picture, put that up on the wall. Or if you have inspiring quotes that you like, put them up on the wall. Put that inspiration and those personal decor and those items where you can see them so that, it's inviting and it's feels comfortable for you. Also, make sure that you are comfortable. So make sure that it's not too hot or too cold in your office. If it's going to be too cold, like it was in my office in the basement, have a space heater. If it's too hot, find a fan. Make sure your chair is comfortable. Have a footrest if you need one. Make sure that the lighting is nice so that you are comfortable. I'm sure you've kind of seen the trend of this. Ultimately, the goal is to use your office. So do what you need to do to make it be a place that you want to be. Because if you are in your office, you will be more productive and ultimately happier than if you're being distracted at the kitchen table or on the sofa. Getting into the zone and accomplishing the tasks that you're wanting to do and seeing that productivity and that forward momentum in your business or your activities is certainly going to motivate you more and more. So create the environment so that you can experience those things. Ultimately, you're investing in your business and your personal well-being. But don't get me wrong, you don't have to start fancy. Just start with the basics. Just get in the room. Pick the room. That's a good start. And, start with that basics, and you can expand with it over time. Well, that concludes our episode. I hope you enjoyed it, learning on how to make your home office. Thanks for being here. It really does mean a lot to me. If you haven't already, though, please subscribe or hit that follow button, as I'd love it if you came back to week. If you're looking for more information on the membership, check out tufinstitute.com. And if you want more information on me and my real estate business, you can find us at rhondalavoy.exprealty.com. If you're looking for me on socials, I'm on Instagram, @RhondaLavoy_Tuff, and on Facebook, just as my name, Rhonda Lavoy. You can reach out anytime. I love to hear from you, and I really hope you have a marvelous day. I can't wait to bring you another episode.